2001 Space Odyssey was directed in 1968 by Stanley Kubrick and was edited by Ray Lovejoy. This film was Lovejoy's first film as editor rather than assistant to the director in all his previous films. After the success Kubrick and Lovejoy experienced with 2001 A Space Odyssey, the pair decided to work together in the 1980 film The Shining. One of the most famous scenes in the film 2001 A Space Odyssey is the scene called Dawn of Man, which is mainly due to the transition of 1,000 years by the simple throw of a bone. This is an example of a match cut, which looking at movies explains as the similarity between shots A and B is the shape in which the form we see. In this type of cut, shape, color, or texture of objects matches across the edit, creating continuity. This famous transition was not originally written, though. When asked about how the cut came, Arthur C. Clarke, the co-writer of the film, explained, Stanley was walking back to the studio and he had a broomstick and he was throwing the broomstick up in the air. And I was quite worried that it might come down on him. And I think that's when he got the idea of the transition, which is, of course, what happened. The bone goes up and turns into what is supposed to be an orbiting space bomb, a weapon in space. Although this isn't made clear, you just assume that it's some kind of space vehicle and there's 3 million year jump cut. Another film that displays an edit of this kind would be Citizen Kane. In the opening sequence, a lit window is shown, but it goes dark as night approaches. When the light is shown again, you see inside the room of Kane dying looking out at the world. This type of cut makes a scene very memorable if executed correctly. Another notable editing move that they used to make the film was that they did not rush the film. Although many complained that the film moved too slow, Kubrick and Lovejoy planned to have the movie this way. Dolan Reynolds says, with 2001, Kubrick was trying to get his audience to slow down in a fast-paced time and just appreciate who we are and where we've come from. By telling the story in a slow, meditative nature, he was able to achieve what he was going for, and also illustrated the very nature of space itself. In reality, being sent deep down into space isn't glamorous, as many films at the time were portraying it, but very slow and lonely, as Kubrick depicted. The film is a little over 2 hours, but with the longer average shot length and the small amount of dialogue, the movie seems much longer. The editing in this movie, especially the time period that it was made, makes 2001 A Space Odyssey stand out from the rest, earning it a spot on the AFI Top American Films list.